Dispatch, Echo 7. I'll be out with that subject. Come here, man. Stop! Take your hands out your pocket! Take your hands out your pocket! If you don't stop, so I'm gonna tase you. I'm not playing with you. Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket! Take your hands out your pocket! Shots fired!
That was Estill police officer Quincy Smith, who survived being shot 3 times at point-blank range.
Shots fired!
Now joining us is Officer Quincy Smith, the Estill police officer who survived this incident. Quincy, my friend, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on.
You too, man. I appreciate you having me once again.
So when you were driving to the call, were you any more suspicious than usual?
No, I just thought it probably was someone drunk, who probably just trying to, get more because they were trying to snatch a bottle of liquor. So thought he was just trying to get more alcohol or something like that because it's New Year's Day. Everybody's celebrating, even though it's early in the morning. People, wake up drinking and, having a good time with their family. So I didn't think nothing serious about it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you had like a weird feeling going into it or not. The reason I called you my friend in the intro is because we've met before. You were on Law&Crime a ways back. When you were on, you said it felt like you got flicked in the face when he shot you. Like, did you not feel any pain?
No, it happened so fast. Like I didn't even see a gun, but I heard the bang, and it felt like something flicked me in my neck, and it was enough force to push me to the ground. So yeah, like I didn't feel anything. I just felt that force in the pressure pushing me to the ground.
Wow. How did you remain so calm when you called the dispatch?
Dispatch, Echo 7, I'm hit. I'm hit in my neck someplace. My arms are broken. Help me, please.
Well, man, blessings of God. That's all I can tell you, man. But when I was sitting in a police car at one point, when I was bleeding out talking to dispatch, I had like a flashback, and it took me back to my senior seminar college course, and I was doing this research, and this research was people's perception of police. And for my research, I'll get a survey. I'll get people's perception of police before they watch a collage of videos. And these videos consisted of, good things police did, bad things police did, and dangerous things they encountered, such as, getting shot and stabbed and stuff like that. And then I give them another survey to see if their perception changed. But for whatever reason, this one video out of that collage of videos stuck out of my head when I was sitting in that car. And it was a trooper out of Tyler, Texas, named Trooper Stone. He stops the car, the person in the car, he finds alcohol and drugs and stuff. And long story short, they ended up shooting him multiple times, but both the passenger and the driver. For whatever reason, that video popped in my head, and something told me, say, hey, slow your heart rate, control your breathing. And to that day, that's the only thing I can tell you, man. God giving me those slight keys, man, and say, hey, I got you. Just slow it down, relax, and I did that, and I'm here.
Yeah, and thankfully you are, and thankfully you remembered that video too. That's what I was going to ask you. Like, your breathing sounded so steady after just getting shot. Like, did you do anything in particular to control your breathing?
No, I took long, deep breaths, man. Just long, deep breaths. Consistent long, deep breaths. That's pretty much it. Just trying to slow my heart rate down so I won't be pumping as much blood, because I knew I got shot in the neck, and I knew that's, I got a major artery in my neck. I thought he had hit that. So I was like, at any point, like, if I continue to have my heart rate pumping all the blood, I'm gonna bleed out.
Wow. It's so wild to me how you could have such a clear train of thought while that was happening. So at one point, a bystander comes over to you, Quincy, and he asks if he can help you. Like, obviously a noble attempt, but just nothing he could do for you.
No, man. I've called 911. I'm sure you can shoot. Is there anything I can do for you? I don't know much about any kind of CPR or anything. Dispatch, Echo 7, please help.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. J. Tompkins, man. Like I said, there's another God sent situation, man. He was there, like I said. The only thing he honestly did for me was, just give me comfort. He just comforted me. That's it. He I think he said he was just happened to go. He was working on one of the bathrooms at the store, which is we were behind, and he said he walked out to get a tool, and then he heard the commotion, and then he heard the shots. And when he turned around, he said he saw me acting funny. He said he thought pretty much I shot the guy. So he went over to me to make sure, the police were going to do the right things. And when he saw me, he's like, oh, his whole mindset changed, and he started, trying to help me, trying to, do as best he could. He said he wasn't no medical professional. He didn't know how to do no CPR. He just, knew he didn't know what to do. He just tried to do the best he could.
Yeah, he remained calm too. I didn't know that he thought you were the shooter initially. After you got done talking to him, you tell dispatch to tell your family you love them. Can you take me through that moment?
Dispatch, please tell my family I love them.
So, like I said, sitting in the car, man, waiting on my backup to come, and paramedics, and just it felt like everything it took forever. So, I mean, at one point, I thought to myself, you know what, like, I'm not gonna make it, man. Like I got shot in the neck. He hit that major artery. I got shot in the neck,
Mm.
and I'm not gonna see them again. So I wanted them to know that I was thinking of them in my last moments, and I really wanted them to know like I loved them and I appreciate everything they done for me. And so that just something told me to tell dispatch that, and I did. And you know,
Hmm. How long were you in the hospital for?
I was in the hospital for a week. Yeah, a week.
That's it?
Yeah, 1 week.
you're you're a quick healer.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
was yeah. Yeah. What was going back to work like for you?
So it was pretty easy. They kept me in the office for a while, so I went back to work November 6th in 2017, and I didn't get and I worked in the office from them. So and of course I'm always itching to get back on the road, but I knew I still had a lot of healing to do. I still had a lot of therapy to attend, and I wasn't 100%. So by the time when I did get back on the road, it was a lot smooth. I got back on the road in late April of 2018. So it was a smooth transition. Some people were happy to see me back, some people weren't. That's just how it went.
I think most people were happy to see you back.
Yeah.
Quincy, I've seen you talk about this incident publicly multiple times. Like as I mentioned, you've been on Law and Crime before,
Hmm.
been on a ton of major networks talking about this.
Yes.
Do you mind talking about it? Is it hard for you to relive?
No, no. I listen. I done got past the worst of everything. I healed mentally really good, and actually talking about it really helped me in a sense. Instead of being closed off and stuff like that. Let people know how I felt, and even when I talked about it, people came to me about their situations, whether it's a person that been in the military that been to Iraq and stuff like that, versus a fellow officer who I've never met from across the country or whatever, said, hey, I was involved in one too, man. And, I felt this, I felt that. I was like, I know what you mean, So getting to understand each other and, because a lot of people, they're not going to understand, what we go through mentally, physically, emotionally, unless they actually been involved in something like that. So, talking about it actually helped me, man. And people gave me some ideas on, how to, cope with, everything and because it helped them. So, but that yeah, talking about it actually helped me.
Wow. Yeah, good for you. It's a power of sharing, and also amazing that you sharing has helped other people who have been in similar situations.
Yeah.
Um, Quincy, the guy was sentenced. I'm not going to say his name. The guy was sentenced to 35 years. Did you think that was long enough?
Yeah. Well, you can say his name. His name is Malcolm Moore. Yeah. Personally, no. Of course, yeah. I mean, life without parole. That's the way I believe about it. I mean, if you listen, if you attempted to kill me, a police officer, in broad daylight, imagine what would it do to the normal person? You know, And if only he knew that day, honestly, I was just going to talk to him, get his name, make sure he had no warrants, which I don't think he did. And, just, hey, listen, you can't come back here today. Literally, that was my whole goal for that whole call because the victim had left. So that was it. Like, I literally just going, hey, you got to go. You can't be around today, man. Hey, if you want to ride home, I'll give you a ride home. Be like, that's really was my goal.
Yeah, I saw 35 years too, and I was pretty shocked by it. So I was like, wow, I can't imagine what Quincy thinks about that. Quincy, my final question, and I'll let you go. I know, no, I've asked you a lot of questions, but overall now, how are you doing?
Man, I'm great and I'm blessed, man. That's what I can tell you, man. I'm in a good position in my life. I'm good mentally where I'm at in my life. Like I said, I done got past the worst of everything, physically, mentally, emotionally, and I work for a good, great agency, and I got backup on this area. So, yeah, I'm in a great space in my life right now.
Quincy, it was an honor being able to talk to you, and I think I speak on behalf of every single person who's watching this. I'm just so happy that you're doing so well.
But thank you. I appreciate you having me on here and, like I said, talking about it. And whenever people see the things that you post, man, I hope that they can take something and learn from it. Because that's why I still share today, man. I just want to let people know, hey, this is what I went through and stuff like that, and try to help people in any way that I can.
Quincy Smith, appreciate you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate you.